Welcome. My name is Mr. Sunarine, and today's lesson we're going to be looking at how can we use a letter to represent the unknown to solve problems. Before we get into today's lesson, I'm going to provide some guidance around how we can interpret and read math word problems. Here, when we're looking at a math word problem, there are some clues in the actual word problem that will help us understand what we need to do. For example, multiplication, if we see words such as same, twice, product, in all, or double, that helps us understand that we may have to do multiplication. Same thing with division, if we see words such as share equally, each quotient, every, those are some key words that tell us we will have to do division. Addition, if we see add, altogether, and, both, in, all, sum, total, increase, these are all clues to tell you that we will have to do addition in the problem. Last one is subtraction. Some keywords are difference, fewer, gave away, take away, how many more, how many larger, shorter, smaller, left, less, take away, change, decrease. And these can help us know that we may have to do subtraction. Some other helpful hints is here are some math word problem strategies. When understanding a math word problem, the first thing we want to do is read the entire word problem. Then we want to think about the word problem, write on the word problem, such as annotating, highlighting, and circling key information. Next idea can be draw a picture. Drawing a picture can be very helpful to visualize what you are asked to do. And last, check your answers when you're done. We're going to go over some math word problems and we're going to work through it and see how well we can do this. Here's the first one. Adriana has 10 pieces of gum to share with her friends. There wasn't enough gum for all her friends, so she went to the store to get 3 more pieces of gum. How many pieces of gum does Adriana have now? So please pause the video, I provided some math word problem strategies, look through these and see if you can figure out how to understand this problem. We're going to move on to the solution in the next slide. Over here, when we read the word problem, we can also annotate. We know that Adriana starts out at 10 and she needs to get 3 more. We need to look at how many pieces of gum does Adriana have now. So since she started out with 10 and she's adding 3 more, we're going to do the adding operation. We could set this up with 10 plus 3. I also use this letter equals G, and we can put that over here. This can help us that G equals gum. So it tells us that we need to find what G is equal to. 10 plus 3 equals 13. 13 equals G. Adriana has 13 pieces of gum now. Now let's look at another math word problem. Adriana has 100 pieces of gum to share with her friends. When she went to the park, she shared 10 pieces of strawberry gum. When she left the park, Adriana shared another 10 pieces of gum. How many pieces of gum does Adriana have now? So again, pause the video, work through the problem, and see what you come up with. Here we can annotate the problem. We see that Adriana starts out with 100 pieces of gum. She shared 10 pieces. Sharing means she gave away. So that tells us giving away is subtraction. So then we also know that when she left the park, Adriana shared another 10 pieces of gum, which she gives away, so she subtracts 10 again. How many pieces of gum does Adriana have now? So we started out with 100, subtracted 10 from the strawberry gum, and then we subtract 10 again from the bubble gum. And we see that 100 minus 10 gives us 90, and then we bring down the negative 10 again. 90 minus 10 gives us 80. Adriana has 80 pieces of gum now. We're going to look at a few more questions. Adriana needs to cut a pan of brownies into pieces. She cuts 6 even columns and 3 even rows into the pan. How many brownies does she have? So again, pause the video, use the strategies, and see if you could come up with how many brownies she has. Here, we see that I provided a visual just to give you some guidance. You can either find a visual, draw a picture, and see if this can help you out. We notice that there are 6 columns and 3 rows, and we need to find how many brownie does she have. So since there's 6 columns and 3 rows, that tells us we need to multiply. I also use B as brownies to tell us that we will determine how many brownies she has when she cuts out the 6 columns and the 3 rows. 6 times 3 equals 18. Adriana has 18 brownies. We're going to look at one more problem. In this problem, we see that Adriana has 80 tickets for the fair, and each ride costs 5 tickets. How many rides can you go on? So here, pause the video, work through the problem, and see how we can solve this problem. Think about what operation we would need to use. Do we need to use addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? I'm going to go to the next slide. Here, Adriana has 80 tickets, so we know that she starts out with 80 tickets. Each ride costs 5 tickets. We know from our guidance, each tells us division. So we're going to take these two numbers and divide it. 80 divided by 5. And we're going to use the letter R for rides. That tells us how many rides Adriana can go on. We'll do 80 divided by 5 gives us 16, and 16 equals R. And remember, R stands for rides, so Adriana can go on 16 rides. Now we're going to go into our summarization. In thinking about how to solve word problems, how can we use a letter to represent the unknown to solve problems? The letter represents what we need to solve for, and the letter helps us make sense of the math word problem. Here are additional strategies and guidance on how you can work through similar math word problems. Hope this was helpful. Have a great day.